Warriors rise, hear the call, through fire and shadow will come.